Hey everybody, how are you doing today? In this one, I wanted to talk about something super major, and that is forgiveness. It has been said that we're actually living in the age of forgiveness, and it's such a beautiful thing, is because I do believe we are. In one way, if you are religious and believe in the Bible and all those stories, even though I was not brought up religious and I'm not religious, we are told that we are living for our sins and we're trying to make up for it, and so we're supposed to live this certain way. But I believe we've actually gone through thousands of years that way, and now we're in the age of forgiveness. And with that comes forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others, or forgiveness of others and then forgiveness of self. And one thing I find is that we are our own harshest critics. We put ourselves down so much, which is on one hand a good thing, but on another hand, it stops us from living life the way that we dreamed to live it since we were children. When we start learning to forgive ourselves and others, we create a whole different reality that we experience based on love, and it's beautiful. And I'm sorry, it's when you get there, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And for some others, you might not even think that you even want to get there right now. Anyways, so with forgiveness comes so many things. When you forgive, you can finally heal. If you find that you've forgiven somebody and you're not healing, it's usually because you haven't forgiven yourself. Most people forget that important step of forgiveness of self. And so usually when you feel guilty about something and you feel like you just need to say sorry to somebody, it's also because of that guilt that you're wanting forgiveness. And so you say sorry, and let's say the other person does forgive you, okay? But inside of yourself, you're still not okay with it, and it's because you have not forgiven yourself. If you feel you deserve the forgiveness from somebody else, why then do you not feel that you deserve the forgiveness from within? And I find that reflection then helps on this, is because then when you reflect on this situation and why you don't feel you deserve forgiveness is usually because you haven't corrected yourself in that, meaning that in the next situation, if it arises similar, have you changed the way you're going to deal with that? Because that's usually why we're not okay to forgive, is because we haven't changed anything about ourselves. And that is also the same as when sometimes you're not able to forgive someone, you might not believe that they have changed. But that's something about when you forgive someone either. You cannot expect for that change. Meaning that when you decide to forgive someone, why is it that you're forgiving them? Are you forgiving them because you wish to forgive them? Or are you forgiving them because you think they want to be forgiven, even though you don't forgive them? And etc., etc. And it's all about what we wish to experience. For me, when something happens, I usually do forgive, and I forgive myself too now, because it's something that I have worked through and on. And it's crazy how much it helps. It helps them heal, it helps you heal, and then usually it ends with forgiveness of self is the last step, is because people are usually easier to forgive others before themselves. Now, in a scenario like cheating, some people might be like, no, they cheated on me and of course I'm not going to forgive them. Or you do forgive them, but yet you still don't feel okay inside. And it's because in cheating, even though it was someone else's decision, even though it was someone else's fault, there is a part of us that is in there too. And not that you shouldn't forgive yourself, of course you should, but you also need to realize what part you played in it too. Meaning that, were you mean to them, meaner than you thought? Or were you neglecting them more than you thought? And it's just getting into these kinds of things, and from there also forgiving yourself. And then that's also when we'll talk about blame too. That's a big one, is because most people blame themselves a lot, blame others a lot, and then have a hard time forgiving. And it's this whole cycle, which again, we'll talk about the cycles and how they reoccur and how we can stop those cycles from reoccurring, and also realize the benefit of the cycles. But yes, in this one, definitely about forgiveness. Forgiveness, yes, not always an easy one, and it's always different for each scenario. It's always different for each person, and it's also different for your own individual forgiveness. But it's about going there inside, talking to yourself about everything, about how you can go there. And actually, I'll do that in a different episode too, about why we never go and talk, about why we'd rather be distracted. Because to forgiveness is a deep thing. It comes from the depths, is because you have to break down the layers of responsibility and blame and victimization and all of that kind of stuff before you can get into forgiveness. And I will be doing episodes about that too. But just, realize if you're not over a situation, check into, have you forgiven yourself, and have you truly forgiven the other person or persons? Again, not always easy, especially if it has to do with a murder case or a kidnapping case or any of that. And a lot of it is deep reflection. So, good luck. I'm sorry if you feel by me bringing some of that stuff is heartless because you don't think I understand the situation. And please know that I haven't experienced it possibly and actually truthfully exactly like you, but I have broken down every single scenario in life to the point where it does come down to these things. And I do realize sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's the last thing that you're meant to do before you leave this life or not do when you leave this life. And it's all up to you if you wish to take those steps, if you wish to alleviate that pain, if you wish to alleviate those emotions that you are feeling. That's all up to you, not me. I'm just letting you know that I'm sure one of the last steps for you is the forgiveness of yourself and others. Love you truly, and here to help you heal.